I've changed my tune slightly, but not completely. If you move there and you think you're going to make it, you're fucking senile, okay? You're senile.
It looks too good. I'm all for it if I can find a deal.
Welcome back to Saint Aubin Central, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today I have to swallow my pride and recant. Politicians, take a note, when you're wrong about something, you should admit that you're wrong. And early on, I was a harsh critic of people moving to Nashville for a music career. I've changed my tune slightly, but not completely. If you move there and you think you're going to make it, you're fucking senile, okay? You're senile. If you can't fill a room here, what makes you think you'll fill a room in Nashville? I still stand by that. However, one of the challenges, I think, of being in Indianapolis, which I love, I still have no plans of leaving, there isn't much industry here. There's a lot of musicians, and there's a small handful of venues. There's a lot of bands, but there's not industry here. When I mean industry, I mean booking agencies, I mean management companies, I mean licensing firms, PR, all of that. And there's just not an ecosystem of that here. So, because I remember I was talking to a friend, and he told me I was wrong about my position on Nashville. And then I stabbed him. Yeah, and I think, and he just made that point. I was like, oh yeah, I think you're totally right. Cause like, here I am a solo creator in Indianapolis, and I have to do everything myself. It's so much work. It's like, on top of like, I'm trying to release songs. I'm like, not tomorrow. For me, tomorrow. For you, 2 weeks ago, I released a remix, And then so from that date on, I'm planning on releasing a song a month for as long as I can. So like, I do that. I have a podcast. I'm trying to have a YouTube channel. I have like 200 something subscribers. So I'm like shooting video. I'm editing video. I have to come up with social media content. And then when I drop a single, I have to do all the press by myself, email people, text my friends, annoy the shit out of them, let them know. And then I have to also like book all my own shows. And that is, I send probably 25 to 30 emails a week just trying to book shows. And that's like, I feel like that's only like half of it, It's so much work to be a solo creator. And I think, so like, it makes sense. I can see why somebody like myself would move to Nashville, is to be in more of an ecosystem. Because I think I work hard. I write good songs. I perform well. I'm likable, and I'm likable in day-to-day life.
All right.
If you just see me on your phone, you hate me or you think I'm fat. Those are the two options. But in real life, I think I'm welcoming, I'm likable. So like, it would make sense to move to an ecosystem that has like the supportive structure, But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think about it. I mean, I've thought about moving to somewhere with more of a somewhat of an ecosystem, but I think I'm also stubborn because I like being a part of something. Like, I like building things. I don't like to maintain things. I don't like to be a leech. Like, how many leeches moved to Nashville to suck on that, like, just, voluptuous, engorged teat of Nashville. Ugh. You know that Nashville teat has diseases, dude. Like, some of the dirty hippie people that move there. Same thing with LA and Brooklyn, But like, I think like the two things I would probably really enjoy, like either a manager or a booking agent, who has, because like a manager, I'm an ideas person, but sometimes I have a hard time putting things in order of, oh, this is how this should go. Or like, this is really important, this isn't. Or somebody who can just like help me take some things off my plate, or somebody who can like help me make connections with people. Because I think about next year I'm gonna probably try to play Indianapolis. I'll do like some sort of release show, and then play Indianapolis once or twice, and then I'm gonna try to play Chicago 4 to 6 times, and then I'm gonna I think I'm gonna do my loop a little bit, which is like, I'll hit up Chicago, go to Detroit, and hit Columbus, and then come to Indy, and then go to like St. Louis, Nashville, Cincinnati, and then back, and then just keep doing like a Midwest loop. But it's so much work, dude. It's so like, and booking shows, like I've purposefully stepped away from doing the DIY touring stuff, because I just hate playing in a room of people, like that's just the band and the bartender. That's what DIY touring is,
Yep.
I hate that, and I'm done. I would rather send a bunch of emails and try to get like a good show. But yeah, I don't know. I think I sometimes I miss being in a band, because like when Saint Aubin was doing stuff, like it was great. Like Fred could do a bunch of the video content, which like I didn't do any of it, but it's nice when other people can like carry the load with you. If you have like a 4-piece or whatever, each person is like, yo, this is your thing, and you kind of divvy up the work. I do miss that, and I think that's one of the pros of being in a band. The con of being in a band is being in a fucking band, dude. Drummers are the worst. You got to deal with the drummer, and then like one of your guys is polyamorous, and he's just going on dates every single week or like every night. It's like, hey, we need to end practice early. One of my girlfriends is coming over. I'm like, oh, great, awesome, really glad for you, And then you got the diva, who's most of the time the singer, who's just like, it's all about me. I got new boots and a hat, and then you got the guy who's just trying to keep it all together and make everybody happy, and he's also probably the most technically sufficient, and he's just like, and then he gets overwhelmed by everybody, and then he's like, you know what, I'm done. Like, that's basically what being in a band is, dude. So it's either that, or you're by yourself and you feel alone all the time and nobody cares, and you're constantly overwhelmed with how much work you have to do.
Yeah.
That's the two options. Or you can sign your fucking life away to a label and they'll take all of the money. Like, I was thinking about, like, they're looking at them like Post Malone or Drake or whatever, like how much money Post Malone made in like 2020, like, I don't know, maybe like $10-20 million, something like that. That was just his cut. The label made 85% of that, dude. Like, or more than that. And it's just like, yo, dude. But it's, yeah, man, there's pros and cons of being in a band. But I still think I prefer this is my hope, and my thought is that if I keep doing the work that I'm doing now, give it another year or two, and like someone will come along and be like, hey, I want to be a part of this, but like behind the scenes, what do you need from me, because I did have I had a small boutique label reach out to me, which was interesting. We're gonna have lunch soon, but it was validating, even though like I still have very much like an independent DIY mindset. But it's still like validating. Oh, somebody found me. They were, I think they're from Indianapolis, but they lived in Florida for a long time, and then they found me on social media, and liked my content, and which I'm like, can you tell my wife that, please? You know, but they've. It's fine. She doesn't listen to this anyway. So it doesn't matter. I can talk all the shit in the world about my wife. No idea. Absolutely no idea. But yeah, found my stuff, and so then I think she moved back here. And then when I opened for Flowbots, she actually just came to see me.
Wow.
She didn't even stay for Flowbots, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's validating. I don't know. For me to sign to a label, I mean, they would have to be able to do so much for me. Like, because I feel like I can kind of do everything now. Mm-hmm. It's hard, and I'll admit, like, I don't always do everything well. But you would have to like knock my socks off. I'm just like, hey, I can do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And if they're not, then I'm just like, I feel like I feel like labels would need me more than small boutique labels would need me more than I would need them. Are you making fun of me right now?
No, I'm seriously not.
Your face is just like, you fucking retard. You know, like that's what you're doing.
No, I'm trying to think about like at this point, like this day and age for labels, like if you're already recording the songs yourselves, uploading them, reaching out, like doing the video content, it's like what are they going to offer you nowadays that you can't do for yourself for relatively cheap and or free?
Like this I think it was like, well, we like exchanged emails, and then she reached out to me. She's like, hey, today's the last day to apply for South by. I just wanted you to know in case you haven't. And I was like, bitch, I already did. I was the early application. But she's like, I know some people. Like, hey, you get me on South by, that ain't bad. I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to like, because I mean, like, I like to think I'm somewhat sensible in the business world to be like, oh, this makes sense to me. Yes, this relationship would work out. But I would rather just have a manager who can help me make connections and help me stay on task. That would be, if I could have that, dude, like beautiful. Or a booking agent who's like, hey, I got you on this tour. I'm like, thank you. Because I can't do jack shit. Dude, so many times when, because like I have a whole spreadsheet of where I book, like, and I keep, it's like the venue, the city, the date, the person, the booking agent, etc. And then it's color coded of just like, yellow is like first contact, blue is second contact, like, and then like red is no, But I get denied all the time. And deep down,
it hurts.
One day I just want to pull the race card. Just be like, just so you know, you saying no is white supremacy. You won't let colored people thrive. So like deep down, I'm just like, one of these days. But I can't because I'm not a cuck, dude.
We should do a science experiment. Like, you know how they did that one
Pull the race
experiment
card?
where they like had people send out resumes and then they like swap the names to be
this is
a more like traditional.
Would you like to hire Brent or Jay Quante? No, wasn't there a Freakonomics about that?
Yeah.
If you had like a ethnic name, you wouldn't get hired, which is so horrible. That's why you meet black people and like Hispanic people named Glenn. They don't want Alejandro or like Dre Jean or whatever. They want, hi, I'm Brian.
Oh my God. You should do that though. You should send out like a set number of emails in a week and don't have any header about who you are or your, racial background. And then the next week, do the same set of people if you can, but just change it to like, I'm a strong, like black independent
Hi,
artist.
hi. I'm Saint Aubin. I'm an artist of color. I had a gay phase in high school, and I think you should bring me on your tour.
Yeah, see what happens.
I
Science.
I want to so bad, but like it would go against everything that I like.
What if you nailed the perfect gig though? The best.
But then because then I know in the back of my head I didn't get the gig on merit. I got the gig because this person feels guilty about the color of their skin. So they'll make the decision to they'll be like, well, this is my good deed for the day. I helped out this poor colored boy,
Oh my God.
Like, I just can't do it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I refuse. Because, like, I have a friend who always tells me, he's like, dude, you need to play the race card. And you just need to you need to be like the Candace Owens of music. And I'm just like, I couldn't do it because it's so inauthentic. But he's like, dude, they would eat you up. And I'm just like, oh, I know, dude. I know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't, because I think those people, like, I think people like Candace Owens or people who, like, their number one priority is like, this is my, group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm this art group or whatever. Like, I just think there's a shelf life to it because at some point people are like, they're going to stop caring and they're like, hey, play me a good song. And then if your whole life has been just milking the teat of someone who feels guilty, it's just like at some point that teat gonna run dry.
Couldn't say it better myself.
So we'll see. Maybe we'll do an experiment, and I'll just do a YouTube video about it.
Do it.
And it's just like this is what happens when I, play the race card. I booked 12 tours.
Your life just instantly
Yeah,
turns
just
around.
like I didn't know my dad. Just all the things that they think already about me. This guy probably didn't know his dad. It's just like, you racist son of a bitch. Man, I just went on a long ass tangent.
Oh, it's good. Love
But
it.
yeah. What else was there? Oh, did you see Tom DeLong is back with Blink?
Yes, I heard this.
He wrote a little like love honor letter to Matt Skiba, but glad that Tom DeLong's back, he found the aliens and was just like, you know what? Blink 182 is my true calling. It would be so weird. I can't imagine being Blink and Tom DeLong isn't singing in it. Because I think Matt Skiba played for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, because they were playing shows.
Yeah, they were playing shows.
Yeah.
But it would be so weird to like hear somebody else like sing, all the small things.
Yeah.
All the but he's back, man. I think they kind of patched it up because I thought they had some beef, right? There was some weird stuff, and he was like, trying to get abducted by aliens or whatever. He got super deep into aliens.
That's all I remember too. Is just he had a wild little chapter where he kind of went off the rails.
But he's back where he belongs, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad. Home. Blink's amazing. And I wish that's what Kanye would do. Just get back to Ultralight Beam, dude. Like, probably one of the greatest openers of any album. This is an Ultralight Beam. This is an us. And I'm just like, ooh, it's a vibe, dude. Like, Kanye, stop wearing, fetuses around your neck and talking politics. Get back in the studio where you belong, Tom DeLong, like, learn from Tom DeLong, dude. He's like, you know what? I would imagine if I asked Tom DeLong, like, hey, man, what led you back to Blink 182? He'd be like, well, when I was getting probed by the aliens, I was just like, damn it, I missed that song. And then he went back,
That was it. That was his message from the heavens.
But I'm glad. I would love to see Blink. And doesn't Mark Hoppus has cancer, right?
I have no idea.
I thought he had cancer or something like that.
I better fact check this while we're still
Yeah,
on
I
the air.
know. So I don't get sued like Alex
Jeez.
Jones, dude. $1 billion. I thought he had cancer. He had something.
We're going to find out.
We're gonna find out. But welcome back, Tom. We're glad you're back home.
It sounds like he is cancer-free as of maybe April.
Okay, but he had it.
But he did go through chemotherapy for, yes.
Okay, nice.
Wow. Way to go.
Good job, dude. So I wanted to talk about the dating, the conservative dating app, the Right Stuff.
Boy.
The Right Stuff dating app is what happens when you have way too much money and you sit in an echo chamber of a bunch of like-minded idiots. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, Peter Thiel backed it, or Thiel, whatever, backed it. And, like, I just can't imagine being in the room, like the pitch meeting. I got an idea. We're going to start a dating app, but for conservatives who voted for Trump.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. And then someone's like, yeah, I'll give you millions of dollars for that. Like, what a fucking idiot, dude. Like, I can't imagine who would think that that's a good idea. So I think I don't even think it started out that strong. I think it was like the first day, 6,000 downloads, the next day, 7,000. And then it's like went down. I mean, it's had like a few, maybe 1,000 or two, like a day I think it launched in like September, October.
Yeah.
Which I think that's not good from like an app download, considering I mean, millions and millions of people voted for Trump. You know?
Yeah, they're probably not all of them are single, I'm guessing. Or maybe
Probably.
they are. I don't know.
Like, I would be curious to like how, like maybe I'll talk to my wife. I'm like, hey, can I start this? Like,
Please.
just as an experiment. But how arrogant and like elitist are you to be like, you know what? I'm not going to mingle with people who don't think exactly like me. Fuck off, dude. Like, that's why we have all these problems in the world. Like, people are getting siloed, and like, and if like social media and all these like platforms aren't like brainwashing us enough, we're gonna start a dating app for conservatives called The Right Stuff. Like what are liberals gonna start a dating app called Left Out or something? You know, like, hey, do you feel left out? Do you want to date a Marxist socialist? Left Out. You know, like it's just like, how dumb and arrogant are you? Like,
I think there's a market because like there are some of the most niche dating apps out there that I've seen the commercials.
Yeah, like Farmers Only.
Yeah, or there was like the one where it was literally just younger women wanting to have sugar daddies. It was like,
yeah, well, sure, like, and I agree with you, but it's like those aren't based on ideologies. Like, The Right Stuff was solely based on ideology, on conservative ideology. Like,
oh yeah,
I was watching like what do women want? And these couldn't be real people, but they're like, I want a conservative man.
Ew.
I want somebody who voted for Trump.
Ew.
And it's just like, oh my gosh. Like, do you really want, I don't know. A bunch of losers, they're probably going to lose a bunch of money, and good for you, dude. Like, I can't imagine being just your head so far up your ass that you think that this is a good idea. Like, you think you're God's gift to the world, and you're like, and it's called The Right Stuff. Oh my gosh, dude. And again, it furthers the point that conservatives are dog shit at art. The app's called The Right Stuff. The design is terrible. Yeah. And like so many bad reviews, dude. Conservatives can't design for shit, dude.
I would love to be able to, if I could get invited into there and just
that was the problem. A bunch of people were getting negative reviews because like they would set up their profile and then they would like hit like submit, and they're like, you have to wait for your invitation. So there's all these like lonely, like, tiki torch holding dudes who are just waiting for the invite, dude. They're waiting for the call from the bullpen. But it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I get if you were doing like a beta, have like an invite only, like, and build the hype of, oh, this is cool, and then open it up to the public.
There can't be that many on there though. Like, you think about it, like if you had 100 people even in like Indianapolis get on it, you could scroll through those in like a matter of an afternoon, and then you're done. That's it.
Dude, imagine if you were like scrolling and you saw like someone you knew, and you're just like, and they're just like, they got their MAGA hat on, and they're just like, and then like one of them, it's just like them on the back of an eagle, just like, riding it, and just like, America first, Trump second, like,
my God.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's a lot.
It will probably fail.
Definitely fail. Definitely.
But what? And I like, at least liberals, if somebody came up with that, and we're like, hey, we have this left-wing dating app called Left Out. Can we, someone would be like, no, dude, that's fucking stupid.
I'm pretty sure there was, if I remember, I thought I saw there was like a Christian gay dating app too, specifically for people who are gay and Christian.
Really?
If I recall, maybe not.
Is it called Sodomite?
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, that'd be amazing.
Like, there's such niche like dating apps out there. Yeah. Just like as long as they have a market of like 10,000, someone's investing in it.
I mean, you don't need like, I mean, that's kind of how like I think of my music career. Like, all you need is 1,000 fans.
Yeah.
To give you $100, and then, you're making six figures. But with this inflation, dude, jeez.
In this economy,
dude, like me and my wife, like we're not broke by any means. I mean, we make close to six figures total, but we can't like save as much because like all it takes is like one car to go out, and then what cost like $150 2 years ago was like $400. Like we've been trying to like put money away, but like car stuff would happen, or like something would happen, and we just have to like pay for it. And it's like we can't, like in 2020, dude, we were just putting the cash away. But now it's like we're doing like, I feel like a quarter of what we were doing back in the day because of inflation, dude. Fucking Byron. Joe Byron. Let's talk about Papa Joe, dude. At what point are we going to stop and look at Joe Biden and be like, hey, guys, this is elderly abuse. The dude is... My sister worked at a nursing home. And I would go visit her. I'd grab lunch or whatever. Oftentimes, there would just be some old man outside in the middle of a field, just looking around. He looked lost. That's what Joe Biden looks like. Every time I see him, he's just like, I just saw this video of him like answering questions, and then he like backed up. Like he just slowly back, and I'm just like, dude, what? It looked like, I'm like, what is this, Tenet? It was so weird, dude. It was so weird. And then you had the video of like, I have two words for you. Yeah. Made in America. And it's just like, and of course it's funny, like it's funny because to be somebody, I mean, I have a small platform. I talk a lot and I say things wrong all the time just because I talk all the time. But it just makes it even funnier when it's this like, depend wearing geriatric who thinks was the most popular president in the world, It's sad, dude. And it's, I think when he was first in office, like people were just like, we need Orange Man bad, get him out of office. We need him out of office. But like now I look back and I'm like, man, if somebody was like, hey, Trevor, we're in a really tough situation. We need to take your pawpaw and we're going to put him on camera, but we're going to inject him full of drugs. And he'll have a teleprompter. Well, what if the teleprompter doesn't work? Well, we'll just shut the broadcast off. You know, like, it's just sad. It's really sad. Like, you know, because, man, I'm sure, like, for people like Biden who have no workplace skills, you know, and other politicians who have zero workplace skills, that's why they're in office for, like, 57 years, you know. Being the president's the tip of the iceberg for them. And he doesn't even know he's the president. Like, it's just sad. Like, he's not even going to remember his time because they keep pumping him full of speed just so he can get through one conversation with a staffer.
He thinks they're going out for ice cream like every day.
Like, and that's probably how they get him. Like, hey Joe, hey buddy, if you do this speech and you do good and you don't go off the cuff, because we know it happens. But if you can just read what we wrote, we will go get ice cream. Okay?
All right.
Yeah, you know? I don't know. It's like, it's sad. It's, you know, I think when Trump was in office, the whole world looked at us and they were just like afraid of what was going on. But now we have Biden in office and people are just like sad. They're just like, man, the healthcare system is really bad in that country. You know? Yeah. I don't know. You know, we went from one coked up narcissist who couldn't keep his mouth shut to, you know, a geriatric man who just, it looks like he's walking around with no pants on and a walker all the time. Just, I think, dude, Rogan said it the best. He's like, Joe Biden going into office is like going on a long hike in the woods at night with a flashlight and the batteries are dying. And I was just like, oh, I felt that, dude. Poor Biden, you know, like, he says he's going to run again, which it's just like, it's not going to happen.
Just for his sake. I want him to take a break.
You know, again, we need term limits and we need age limits, dude. Like, like 69. That should be the cutoff, dude. But poor guy, I mean, he looks cool, though, with those sunglasses, though. You know, he looks back, you know, living his old glory days, you know, watching Top Gun. He's like, Maverick, you know.
He probably has the glaucoma glasses.
I could see Joe Biden, like, looking at himself in the mirror and like, who's this old man? Oh, that's me. Jill? You know, like, poor guy. But, hey, Joe, we wish you the best. You know.
Yeah.
No, I just wonder if microphones have ever like picked up his squishy diaper, his like as he like walks around, dude. Because you know that booty sagging.
That's all I gotta say about that.
You know his butt looks like two jellyfish just hanging on for dear life, dude. Saint Aubin Central, thank you so much for listening. I enjoyed doing this. It's fun for me. I hope it's fun for you. Goodness. It's fun for me. I hope it's fun for you. Daddy's out. Ciao, ciao for now.